that dictated what the price per acre of land was coming out to be. So it didn't affect, the non-waterfront, unless it was a neighborhood, say like Libby Hill, or Mayflower Heights Drive, or any of those nicer neighborhoods where people come in and they see a house and they don't care what it's assessed for, they want it, and they'll pay more than top dollar for it. So, I mean, it's all on what you want.
You know, revals really bring a lot of controversy too, because you're increasing property taxes, and nobody likes property taxes. So I think we've done an outstanding job to go from 1996 till now without a reval.
Yeah.
And I'm certainly hoping we could push this down the road a ways, whether we do studies up there and make adjustments, because they are not popular, and we've got too much going for ourselves right now to shoot
But
ourselves
I
in
can
the back.
tell you this, that traditionally, when you do a revaluation, you have a third that go up, a third that go down, and a third that stay the same. The mill rate moves, but the amount that you pay in taxes most likely are in one of those categories. And that's traditionally what happens.
But
So-
if you did just a separate area like KMD, that probably wouldn't be the case, would it? They'd probably all go up.
On KMD,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you did a
Yeah.
partial, like Bob was saying, if you did.
well, and you have instances where you have somebody that purchased a home, a residential home on that strip, and in the back of their mind, they were gonna sell it commercially. Well, they find out that it's part of the subdivision behind them. It's one of those lots. In their deed, it says, no commercial. So now they're stuck with this house that, and it's buyer beware, it's in their deed. They should have read it, but now they're living there and they're not gonna turn a profit like they thought they were gonna, selling it commercially. Redo the house and do it so that it would be more desirable for somebody else coming in to buy it at a higher rate than what they paid for. So they do, it's like flipping a house, but that kind of thing does happen. So, yeah.
Aren't we most likely going to see that a lot of house sales in a lot of neighborhoods have gone up in the last 6 months?
It's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I haven't gotten to them yet, but
right, that's what I'm saying. So there's going to be a lot of pockets of increased value all over the town.
And you just can't, if I go out and I look at them, sometimes it's an estate, an old farmhouse, it's an estate sale, the sale price was low. Our assessed value, well, we haven't gotten in there for a long time. Maybe there's some depreciations there that should have been taken a long time ago, but there again, we weren't able to get in. Now somebody new comes in, they buy low, they fix it all up, and then they sell it at high. I mean, that's just the way it goes.
No, I'm just saying that,
But-
KMD may not be the only area that we're seeing tremendous price increases that would require a reval. I talking to somebody the other day, they paid $200,000 for a house 4 years ago, and they sold for $300,000 this year.
Mhm.
And that's not a KMD, it's not a lakefront property.
No, and that's
It's just the
very
market.
true.
So I guess my question is how do we handle when you do this again next year, you're going to see a lot different types of numbers.
Yeah.
And is that going to suggest to us that we might have to look at a total reval whether we want to or not?
It very well could.
This isn't, excuse me, this isn't based over a period of years, it's just each individual year?
No, if we went through a revaluation, that just like in 1996, they went back 3 to 5 years on the sales in those specific areas.
Because this year's a unique year, from what I'm hearing on TV, because of the COVID.
People coming in.
Yeah, people coming in from, want to get away from the cities,
Come to me.
pay whatever it costs to get here.
Very true.
Any further questions? Are you done?
I think so.
What I was asking Gary earlier, he tried to scare you on, Jenny, was on our valuation that affects RSU 18, isn't that a 3-year average they do on that? Maybe Kelly knows that too, from
Yeah,
being
see,
in
I
the
don't
office
know.
up there. I thought it was like a 3-year rolling average so that we don't get a big spike in 1 year or
We can get
something.
that answer for you.
I think that's right.
I think it is, yeah.
But, and it seemed like they was a year or two behind too, or something, that if you had a big year, it would go into the average in a year or so, or something, I don't know, it seemed like it took a while to get it in there.
You could get that information off the DOE, the ED 279, that's what they use. They use town valuations to come up with the formula on what we're gonna pay
Yeah.
based on the valuation and this big convoluted formula. Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Good job,
Well
Jenny.
done.
Thank you. Very good.
Moving on to item number 7, to accept a $5,000 grant from Jan Zuckerberg.
Yep, the deputy town manager applied for a grant, and she was awarded that for $5,000. And Jan, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah. I'm pleased to get the $5,000. We can spend it on anything that has to do with elections. I will tell you that some of the other towns, there's a town that I know of, got over 100,000. Yeah.
So what was the matter with you?
Well, no. We had a $20,000 budget and 4 office ladies, but anyway, no, I'm very pleased with that. We just have to keep track of what we're going to be spending that on for the election. And we're getting reimbursement on part of the drop box, so I can use part of that money to reimburse. But I think right now that we're going to have to use it on, a lot of it on pay. So
And speaking
we'll
of
use it.
pay, I mean, these ladies, when's the last time you had day off here?
I don't know.
Oh, wow. And Kathy's the same way. I mean, you know, we worked them into a 4-3 to get them down to normal legal hours, and now they're because of the hours, we're gonna have to take care of this. That's my comment on it.
Next item number 8 is, we have to have
You have to.
we have to vote on it. My apologies. Thank you. Second, all in favor? Thank you. My apologies, I got the wrong one. Item number 8 is voting to accept a $1,967.65 grant from MMA Workers' Comp Fund to pay
Yeah.
for the home's testing equipment.
Okay, so this is a grant that was written by Chief Dave Coughlin for hose testing. It's a 75-25, and it's going to be about $360 out of our budget piece of equipment we've been needing to get. So I would like to see this.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Looking at the library report.
Nothing remarkable. Finally getting back in that groove again. If you have any questions on that, please send them along.
Voting, accepting the police department's refinance bid.
I've actually have Kelly here to present this. This was her, another one of her finance deals, so making money. Kelly, it's all yours.
So with rates being so low, we decided to go out to bid to just 3 local banks to see if we could lower our rate for the police station. Currently, our balance is about $600,000. We are at 3.1%. And Skowhegan Savings Bank is where we currently have our loan. So we included them, Kennebec Savings and Camden. Skowhegan Savings came in at 2.39%. Kennebec was 2.77 and Camden was at 2.89. The approximate savings over the life of the loan with Skowhegan would be about $20,251.04. Annual savings of about $3,000. So not huge savings, but it's a savings. I'm gonna recommend that we go with Skowhegan, just they are the lowest rate, but also, since we're already with them, we would just we would execute a loan modification agreement, so there would be no closing costs, which is huge.
Just drop them interest rates.
Yeah, so just gonna drop the interest rates, continue on with our payment, 2 interest and 1 principal payment a year, and pretty,
I'd make a motion, we follow Kelly's recommendation and go with Skowhegan.
That motion made, second by Don, all in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Good job, Kelly.
Nice job, Kelly.
Thank you. Looking at vote accepting bids for public works plow.
Okay, if you remember right, we were discussing the possibility of kicking this can down the road to the spring. We can't do it. I mean, the truck that we have is rotted out. It's not going to be roadworthy this winter. The way the storms have been going, they're heavy salt and sand, so we went out to bid. We went out with 3 companies, O'Connor's, GMC down in Augusta, White Ford out on the New Hampshire border, and Daigle and Holton. We only received 1 bid. That was from Daigle and Holton for $184,502. There's actually 2 prices. One of it was $184,298, but there's a 120-day lead time for that truck, so that means we wouldn't get it towards the spring. Whereas if we pay $200 and some odd dollars more, we can have one in November. We were planning on $220 for this truck, so this is a demo truck that's actually sitting up there. It's ready to go. All we get to do is put the headgear on it. So I would make a recommendation. We take the truck for $184,502 and put it back in operation.
Quick question. Any reason why the other 2 didn't?
I have no idea. I mean, they all got the same bid sheets. Either A, they don't have the inventory, or B, they don't need to go and sharpen the pencils, because it's just like most of these car dealerships. They don't have a lot of new inventory. I'm sure the truck dealers are the same way.
Have we gone out to bid on a big truck item like that in the recent past?
We usually use these 3 companies, and we've never had an issue with 2 of them walking away and not putting a bid in. It's the first time.
Bob?
No, that was my question.
I'd make a motion, we go with Daigle and Holton for this truck, $184,502.
Second by Dave, all in favor? Thank you. Sign municipal referendum warrant.
You have that, Jim?
Yes. And I need the signature on the general assistance ordinance. There's 8 copies of that warrant.
do you still have my warrant?
What's that?
The warrant?
All right, passed on to Dylan.
Dylan has it.
Perfect.
I'm leaving it right here. I will not take it.
So while we're waiting for that to come around, Gary, do you have anything?
The other thing I have is a manager's report, Mike, on the chamber award. I was going to ask you to address the council, and I guess.
Dave, do you have anything?
I do not.
Bob, do you have anything?
No.
Also.
So I did go to the Chambers Award for the town of Oakland. I brought all the stuff to Gary. They gave us a really nice plaque. Good presentation. It was a good night. I do apologize to you guys. I did represent the town of Oakland, but they gave me 2 holiday weeks in Hawaii. Only I could accept. So, no, I wish, but I wouldn't take it anyway. So, no, it was well done. We did it over to the Best Western in Waterville. We were in the first. We were actually the first ones, and it was funny because Jay from 107.9 was there, and so he brought up the flower committee with Mrs. Ponitz. He brought up Bob for doing the comprehensive plan, and he just went down my list, the whole list, except for Mrs. Kuchar, and that's the only one he missed. So I went up there and I told him I don't even know why I was up here to do it. But I do want to thank you for speaking up and saying that one. So it went very well. I went down through the list of who we should thank and who really did a good job. And I also said that, Gary, thank you for your vision. It's nice because this is your vision, and you really put it out, and the town of Oakland looks nice, and it was a very pleasing and proud moment for me standing up there representing the town of Oakland. So thank you for letting me have that opportunity.
Thank
And
you.
it was good. And no vacation in Hawaii, but I tried. That's all I had.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Kelly, anything tonight? John, anything tonight?
Make a motion, we adjourn?
Second.
All in favor? Thank you, folks, and good night. Everyone.
Don't forget you got papers coming to sign.
Well, yeah, no.
I figured we'd be here 2 hours tonight.
Stop talking so fast.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Thank you, Jenny.
All right, good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Sit
Nice.
down.
Yeah.
Bye, Kelly.